Today can be the turning point in your life by making a simple decision.
Fundamental questions of navigation. Where am I? Where am I going? And how do I get there from here?
I invite the leaders of our planet to ask themselves these three questions before they make any crucial decisions.
But if you don't make decisions, you're going to stay right where you are.
We are all map makers.
We are in a time of transition.
If we're going to change, we have to change the direction that we're going.
Our planet needs leaders who know where they want to go.
When we change the direction we're going, then we want to make sure we're going in the right direction.
Leaders who can see the big picture.
Because if we're not, we're going to either go backwards or we're going to stay where we are.
Recognizing the psychological and the spiritual shifts and changes that need to be made, often from the inside to the outside.
To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm.
Complex journeys require navigation. The path to the truth is one such journey. This is your GPS. Hairstyling services provided by J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Madera Street. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. I'm your host, Michelle Malcolm, and as always, it's a pleasure to be in your company today. Thank you so much for tuning in on this Masterclass Monday when we look at the Constitution of the Bahamas. I see where one of my streams is having an issue, so let me just go ahead and deal with that as we get Professor Thompson squared away in the studio. Wondering why it's not linking. Okay, there we go. It's telling me I'm having a problem streaming to rumble.com today. I'm trying to figure out what is causing that problem. So while we get Professor Thompson sorted out in the studio, I'm going to try to work on this this challenge as it relates to our rumble.com feed. Okay, so in the meantime, this is a Masterclass Monday, and you all know what that means. If you're a regular around here, it means that we are going to be talking about the Constitution of the Bahamas as it relates to your rights and responsibilities. And okay, I'm just trying to figure out why this is not linking to Rumble today. For some reason, it's given me a bit of a problem, but let's see what happens. Okay, so, wow. All right, so let's get Professor Thompson in here. Professor, how are you?
I'm doing well, Ms. Malcolm, and good afternoon to the Bahamas. It's good to be here on this Monday to deal with the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Bahamas. So many interesting things happened today. I was listening to the things that were happening in Grand Bahama, and it's amazing that there is such lack of true constitutional knowledge and understanding, even from those in the media. I wouldn't talk about the average Bahamian because a lot of nonsense and foolish talk came over the airwaves. And it's sad. We've lost 50 years plus as a nation. in relation to the supreme law of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. You have persons and groups who want to run the Commonwealth of the Bahamas and have always ignored the very document that they need to do it properly. That's the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Not a single word. I listen to the reporters, I listen to even the candidates who say they want to run. Listen to the Prime Minister. Well, actually, leader of the PLP, because that was not a government function. We have to get these things straight. His office, leader of the Progressive Liberal Party, he was introduced as Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of Bahamas. He has that office. I'm not disputing that. But the media doesn't seem to understand the difference between a party function and a government function. You mean to tell me after more than 50 years they can't understand that? They got it all confused? We don't seem to understand the difference between party versus government. We don't seem to understand between a candidate and a representative. Different things entirely. There are some basic fundamental issues that we all confuse on as a people. We get it all mixed up. Either you're with a party or you're not. People don't seem to understand, even though a political party may put a candidate up to run. I heard someone tell them that they are bound to support that particular party. That's not true. That's not constitutional. You can be a member of a political party. You do not have to support the candidate that particular party puts up. Choosing a representative is totally different from you choosing a party candidate. It means we got to get it right, man. I wonder why we all in confusion. People say, Sakti, I won't fool around with that no more. And there are some believe that they're stuck with two political entities. It's not constitutional. There's no way in the Constitution it says that. It allows for political parties, more than one. People have a right to make a choice in choosing the appropriate person to be the representative in a given constituency. They also have the right to be a member of a political party. Just like I always use the analogy, St. Barnabas Church and BTC. You go to St. Barnabas Church, but you work the BTC. The same one singular individual performing two functions. But when he goes to BTC, he doesn't tell all them people there who go there, who are not members of St. Barnabas Church, get from me with your Catholic self or your Presbyterian self. I want nothing to do with you. But you see them all work together at BTC to get the job for BTC done. What is wrong with us? He doesn't tell all the members at St. Barnabas Church, leave your jobs and come work to BTC. But yet they worship together on Sunday and it's not a problem. Why then the very same people who belong to different churches, who belong to different organizations, living in the same community, in the same constituency, can't get it right? What is wrong with us? How is it that we are so politically polarized that we can't see? But when we go to BTC, all of these very same people are all in harmony. Why? Because they are there to perform what? The function of BTC. And they get on well. They've been doing it for years. And there's no confusion. But when it comes to a particular group of persons, where they live, where they operate, they spend all their life, they seem not to be able to get on well with each other. What's wrong with us? How we get like this? I don't want to speak to you because you're in that little group over there. We have all these little cliques, and we don't see the importance of the people in a given constituency dealing with issues that affect all of you in there collectively for the good of that particular constituency. Same principle can be applied to the good of the nation. This Constitution talks about a national commitment to do something. Well, then the same applies to constituency commission to do some things. And we just don't have it correct yet after more than 50 years. The media doesn't seem to understand. The personality has 1, office of prime minister, 2, leader of the Progressive Liberal Party. And they can't get it right. Can't get it right. And this is a problem. That's why the people themselves are so confused, because they keep getting misinformation, not actual constitutional knowledge and understanding, so that they can understand the difference between leader of the party, prime minister. It may be the same person, but 2 different functions. Deputy leader of the party. Now, I know deputy, no prime minister. That's not constitutional. Let me put that in there right away. The Constitution speaks to no such office as no deputy prime minister. Now, in their party constitution, they got deputy leader. Well, fine. I got no problem with that. The Constitution says you can have your party. But when it comes to the government of the Bahamas, that is a totally different kettle of fish. Because I heard the Prime Minister say himself, encouraging people to vote for that particular candidate of his party. Fine, no problem with that. Because he has connections and he has a seat at the table with the government of the Bahamas. Is that the way we run things in this country? If the people...
Well, apparently it is.
If the people... Probably maybe so. That's why we need to correct it. If the people of that constituency decide not to vote for that candidate, what happens to the person, and I could explain this constitutionally, what happens to the representative, and that representative is not a part of that particular political party, then what? Nothing happens. The Constitution speaks to that. What ought to be done and how it ought to be done. So when people who have your national affairs in their hand to run your national affairs, you have to know whether they're acting constitutionally sound, yes or no. And this is why we're so far behind 50 years. 50 years is a long time, Bahamians, to be in this kind of stupidity and ignorance. We can't keep this foolishness up. No wonder why we're fumbling in the dark and can't get anything straight. All we have is a multitude of problems. And people have their little group, this little group, little group. Let me tell you one thing. Let me say this to the Bahamian people right off the top. I know I've mentioned it before, but it's going to bear repeating often. The supreme law of the Bahamas is the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. That's point number 1. Point number 2. The Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas is what a government ought to govern by. That's why, Bahamians, it is so important you need to be careful who you send to do your national affairs. Because you have people in there who are not going according to the Constitution, you're going to have trouble. No wonder why this country is all tied up. And we don't seem to be able to get anything done. We have a multitude of problems, but no solutions in sight. When the Constitution tells you how to deal with it, you know. It spells out the job of the government of the Bahamas. It spells out in detail the job of Parliament. It spells out in detail the job of the Senate. When are we going to get it right, Bahamians? We're going to keep going around in circles for another 50 plus years. I hope not. I waited 50 years for people to wake up, to know that we have a valuable constitutional document, because it was been ignored, still being ignored today as I speak to you, by those who have had the opportunity to run the affairs of this country. All you have to do is check the evidence. And I
All
can
right.
show you.
So,
go ahead,
Professor, we have a lot going on today, as you pointed out. Today is nomination day for the by-election for the West.
That's correct.
Grand Bahama and Bimini seat, and everybody's all excited over that. And
Yes.
everybody's, obviously paying attention to that. But even within this campaign, there were certain things that you had concerns about in
Yes.
terms of the way things have gone down as it relates to our Constitution.
Oh, yes.
So
definitely.
all we could, I guess, continue to do is plug away at it, to try to get people to understand the difference between the two.
Yes.
Now, I know on the show last week, Thursday, I know you had called in because you were quite upset over some things that you heard expressed on that show as it relates to the naturalized, the person of Haitian heritage who has a Bahamian passport, and that whole conversation about her rights as a Bahamian in terms of where she and her children will live and who's gonna. Yeah, what were your thoughts on that before we dive into moving forward on today's discussion?
I think we're going to have to look at that a little bit more closely to find out how that came about. But I could say this right off the top. However she got it, whenever she got it, it is not constitutionally sound. It is ultra vires the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
So in that case, what can be done by the Bahamian people to say this and others needs to be investigated to ensure that these passports were granted legally according to our Constitution? How do we as constituents address that?
That is a good question. Number one, you can take legal action through the courts. That's one option. There are several options you can take. Number two, you can put unbending pressure on your representative. See, the representative in House Them is supposed to speak on your behalf.
Mm-hmm.
You have to let him or her know. If they don't know, then you as a citizen have to tell them it is not constitutional. No Haitian person could be naturalized in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. None. It was never designed for them. Naturalization stopped July of 1974 for citizens of the United Kingdom and colonies. The Constitution gives them a cutoff date. They can't even deal with that now. You want to go back into that, you got to have a referendum. Every single article relating to citizenship can only be changed by a referendum. It's in your Constitution. You have to tell the government that. You have to tell your representative that. The government is violating the Constitution. Immigration Department is violating the Constitution. Period. No ifs, no ands, no buts. We have to be playing around with this nonsense and foolishness. It is hurting the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I'm a genuine Bahamian citizen, and you got this particular personality and some others who they made citizens. Even those that were signed by the past minister, Minister Bell, under what is called the Bahamas Nationality Act. And you know, it has all kind of statements in how the minister feels, how he thinks, perhaps how he wakes up that morning. oh, he could do this, he could do that. Actually, he could do all kinds of things, but those are unconstitutional because the act does not line up specifically with what the Constitution says. Now, if the government is listening, what are you going to do about that?
Yeah, that's the question. Because clearly they ain't been listening for 50 years.
I tell the Bahamians, well, this is where you got Article 24.1. It's right there, has been there for more than 50 years. What to do with a government or a representative? They've been checking for you. You say, okay, no problem. You blink your eye, the seat is empty. Don't ask me how, because I'm not interested in that. We just know it can be empty. And if that's the way it has to go, well then, so be it. The Bahamian people have the right to protect their interests. And the word interest is plural, I-N-T-R-E-S-T-S, interests, more than one. Are we going to be sitting here for the next 50 years to allow successive administrations in the government of the Bahamas to keep bamboozling us by violating the Constitution? Article 6 is a typical example. Article 7 is a typical example. And there are some others in there too that are being violated every single day. Every time they talk about naturalizing Haitians or other people from other countries, that's unconstitutional. And you see the announcements in the papers all the time say they want to be naturalized. You cannot constitutionally naturalize any foreigner because there's no provision in the Constitution for it. Now they talk about the married woman who married foreign man.
Mm-hmm.
The Constitution tells you what about her children. The Constitution spells it out. A whole article deals with that. And yet the Prime Minister tried to tie that in with Article 6. Come on, man. So if we want to change that article that specifically refers to the married Bahamian woman who got them children in the United States or them other countries out there, see, when they get born in those countries, they take on the nationality of that particular country. They're not Bahamian citizens. They can apply within a specified period of time. There are time limits on these things. Once the time is up, it's up. People don't seem to understand how important that is. If you're 1 second late, you're late. You don't get no citizenship. Or you don't even qualify to be considered because the time has expired. Well, then that's what happened with naturalization. And let me just say, most of those people who were here from Britain, they decided to go back home. Now, a couple of them stayed, but most of them went back home. And they were the people who helped to set up the country, you know. And so the thing is that we have to look carefully and understand. That's why I keep telling people all the time, you need to know your Constitution. Your Constitution is your salvation document. That is the only thing that you have that can stand up in a court of law. Not these scraps of paper, what people wrote crap on.
So let me ask you something. If okay, let's say I as an individual don't have the funds to take on the whole government through the legal process, what is my next course of action?
That's a good question. Just like Article 24.1 says, people need to come together. It's a collective will of a group of people. Because, see, I'm involved in that right now, in taking on the government. Legally, I'm actively involved in that. That's just one. And we know we could win, and we can win big. But the point is there are some other issues out there that need to be dealt with, and the Bahamian people need to wake up and understand you are being shafted by the government of the Bahamas constitutionally. You have to stop them.
There's a question that's being asked. There's a question that's being asked by someone on Facebook. Tamiko Bain says, can a judicial review stop the government from continuing the unconstitutional issuance of citizenship?
That is a good question. You have to do more than just that. You have to get your facts, as we have done. We have done our homework very well. And I was deeply involved in it. And we are working, and we will have to take the government to court, because, see, that's what the Constitution allows you to do. Just one now. There's only one. There are many other options. So we're looking at all the options that are available to us. And no government could stop you from doing it. No police can stop you from doing it, because it's constitutionally sound. I keep telling people all the time, don't be afraid of people who are your represent. You gave them power. You can take it back. Who tell you can't take it back? Talk about you got to wait for 5 years. Where's that in the Constitution? The Constitution doesn't say that. You see how many governments change all around the world in a matter of months, sometimes even days. They topple. But here we are in a peaceful atmosphere, not created by no parties now. I heard someone talk foolishness like that today. The peaceful atmosphere of the Bahamian people was never created by any political party. That's for someone who was talking about the election down in Grand Bahama. That's not true. That is something that's innate in the Bahamian people all the way back from slavery days. When we prayed to God, the God of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. We didn't burn up the man's place, you know. We didn't rape the man's wife and his children and mistreat them. We didn't do that. We went in the little house what we had as one church. We go in right there and we praying. That's the way Bahamians are. Now, we have a track record of changing governments in this country peacefully. We have more than enough ammunition in our Constitution, not only to do that, but to do other things as well. And when you don't know your Constitution, when you don't know the kind of power that's in that document, the enemy will allow you to do some stupid, foolish things which can hurt you for a very long time to come. You see what's happening in the Gaza Strip now? Trying to get people out the north to go south. Tremendous damage. Are we going to wait till that happens in the Bahamas? We want to be like them fellas south of us? Are they doing all kind of funny things?
I don't think so.
Okay,
No,
so
don't.
now we have the power in our hand to stop the government of the Bahamas from doing crap. It's just as simple as that. Defy them. I tell people that all the time. If the government is wrong and they aren't listening to you, defy them. You don't have to go along.
Okay, we have to take a break, but I need you on the other side to clarify what you mean by defy, because the last thing we want to do on this show or any other show in the Bahamas is instigate any kind of lawlessness that could land people before the courts for breaking the law. So we need to be very specific by what you mean when you say defy them, because
I'll
we
explain
got
that
some.
when I get back.
Yeah, let's take this break. I won't run nobody up on breaks. Let's take this
That
break
won't
and then
happen,
we're
Ms.
gonna
Malcolm.
continue. No, you gotta explain, because some people,
I
they might
do.
think that.
I always do explain in simple, basic, fundamental language.
Okay, so when we
You
come
can't
on this
persuade
break,
me out of that.
you need
Yes,
to
ma'am.
explain what you mean by defy them, because we ain't want nobody flying up in the face of the police. And then next thing you know, they got handcuff on and blaming us. So stay with us. GPS will be back after these words from our sponsors.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digyzyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 Hyperimmune Egg Powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for a rims, tints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Less is love.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Longevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your longevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun. We're back. Welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. I am here today with Professor Sidney MacArthur, Walter Thompson. Before we dive back into the conversation, let me go ahead and tell you how you can become a part of today's show. Finally got the challenge worked out with rumble.com. And there was some kind of anyway, we got that worked out. So we're now streaming live on rumble.com. That's rumble.com. Look for Global Paradigm Shift, all one word. And that's where you can find us online, separate and apart from our live streaming to Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm and Global 99.5 FM pages. And we're also coming to you on Cable Bahamas channel 974. Go ahead and like and share the show if you haven't already done so. You can also download the Global 99.5 FM app to your smart device and check us out there. The telephone numbers to call if you have a question or a comment, 3260271. That's 3260271. 3260272. 3260272. The WhatsApp line for messages and calls is 242-801-0271. That's 242-801-0271. And a huge welcome to all of you who are tuned in by way of radio. So Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson is in studio today. Thanks to the wonders of technology, I am coming to you from home today, but we're still all in one room as far as the show is concerned. And we're talking about the Constitution. Now, you had a point you wanted to make prior to the break. You want to go ahead, Professor? And
Yes,
make that
I would.
point?
I've used that word. I've used that word before because even God says, if you don't listen to me, I ain't listening to you. So that means when a government acts unconstitutionally, that government is disobeying the law. You do not have to obey the government of the Bahamas when it is acting outside of its prescribed lawful jurisdiction. Did you get that? You don't have to listen to them. You don't have to adhere to them. You don't have to be obedient to them under no circumstances. That's
So how
why
do
we
you,
have
how do
No, you
okay,
asked me
go
to
ahead.
explain. Let me explain, Ms. Malcolm, because I went
Mhm.
through this several times before, you know. But I don't want people to get confused. I use the word defy, and I'm sticking with that word defy, because God said, you walk contrary to me, I will walk contrary to you. The government walks contrary to you, you walk contrary to the government. Simple. The government's not better than God. In other words, when the government of the Bahamas acts outside of its lawful constituted authority, it is unlawful. Just as simple as that. So how you could come talk to me and tell me what to do outside of your lawful jurisdiction that the Constitution of the Bahamas gives you to operate under. That's how we know. But we've sat back for 50 years and allowed the crap to happen. That's why we're in the predicament we're in. We don't even go and search out things to see, is it right? Is it wrong? Is it good? Is it evil? Is my representative doing the right thing on my behalf as a representative? Is the governor of the Bahamas acting constitutionally when it goes and signs all these funny agreements? Most of them perhaps do not even apply. And you know, they like talk about the women of the Bahamas. The other day we were talking about how well treated these women are in politics and advancing in the country, and that's true. And the Bahamian men aren't complaining about that. All I am
So I
saying,
go back.
Yeah.
Go ahead, wrap up that thought, because I go back to my question. Yeah.
No, I'm answering your question. I'm answering it constitutionally, Ms. Malcolm. Everything I say on this show is constitutionally sound.
I get that,
I
but
am not
what
going-
I'm trying to figure out, and what I want you to spell out specifically, not in general terms, but
No,
specifically.
I'm being very specific, Ms. Malcolm.
Yeah,
I am being
because
very specific because you have Article 24.1 that tells you, the Bahamian people, you have the right to protect your interests. That means you have got to take action to protect what is rightfully yours. You don't wait for a representative to do it. You don't wait for the government to do it because they may not do it. Then what?
So how do the masses do that? How do you have civil unrest without getting yourself locked up? That's what I'm trying to get to.
Let me say this to you. The people have to make it. See, there are some things you got to suffer, you know. You think by doing good, you ain't going to suffer? What did Jesus tell us? You suffer for doing righteousness, doing what is right. You think the enemy is going to just let you do, and they believe they got something in their hand. and you run scared because you're afraid to take the appropriate action that you know is essential to bring change, no change occurs. See, don't worry about what the other fellas see. You know what I noticed with us, Ms. Malcolm? We always like to talk about what the other fella is doing. See, a fella like me, I'm not checking what you are doing. I have to check what I need to do to bring the change so we can have a better country. That's the attitude we need to take. So what I have done personally is I stick rigidly with the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what no government say. I don't care what no minister say. Once I am constitutionally sound, I am sticking with that through thick and thin. That's the stand you have to take, Ms. Malcolm. We have not taken that as a nation. We have been very weak. We have been vacillating. We've been playing games. We've been telling lies to ourselves. We wouldn't stand up and speak our mind. We wouldn't tell the MP, now listen, you're wrong. That is not right. Now here's the proof. Here's what you can do to change that. We have to do the same to the government of the Bahamas. We have to tell them where they're wrong. For example, the Constitution says Her Majesty the Queen, the executive authority of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas is vested in Her Majesty the Queen. They ain't got no more queen, you know. So right there, we got a gap in the Constitution. Have you seen any change to that article? The only way it could be changed is through a referendum. But it's sitting right there.
They got more important things to deal with, man. They ain't got no time to be checking with no queen and king and thing. They trying to win by election and thing. And
Ms. Malcolm, see, that's the problem right there. You see where you went now? You're worrying about what they're doing.
No, I just telling you how we as a people thinking. That's what I'm trying to do.
But see, that is not the right way to think because it's not constitutionally sound in our best interest.
Right.
We have to study the Constitution. We have to know what the law says and have the government of the Bahamas to act responsibly in accordance with the supreme law of the land. If they don't do that, we are going to continue to have problems like we had for more than 50 years.
I want to read
That's
a
why
comment.
we're so backward as a nation. Huh?
I want to read a comment coming in from one of our Facebook viewers. Sandra Carey says, tried to do that when we went to Parliament on October 4th. The people did not show up. It was about 200 max out there. Us got treated by the gutless police like we were criminals. I'm not sure what they're trying to say here. Something about big guns and pushing people down the road.
But let me. I think I know what the call is, what the text is trying to say, because I've heard it before, you know.
Right.
The point is, if Bahamians are not prepared to go to march to Bay Street, fine. Well, then what is it you want to do? I say those who are organizing these things, find out from them. Well, then give us an alternative.
We have a call on the line.
Yeah, go
we
ahead.
have a call on the line. Call about the GPS.
Yeah.
Hi, Ms. Malcolm. Hi, Ms. Malcolm. Professor, how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing well.
That's good, man.
Thanks for calling.
Yeah, no problem, man. We can keep the faith and we got these fellas running. Ms. Malcolm, let me ask you a question. This for your listening audience. A very astute audience you have. Let me ask the question. Have we ever had any constitutional amendment since 1973?
None that I'm aware of.
Okay. Professor, we in agreement with Ms. Malcolm.
Well, let me say there has been one that had to do with the Office of Attorney General,
right?
Where they said, let me make this clear now, because it was misleading information by the government of the day, where they said there would be an independent director of public prosecutions. Now, all you do is look carefully at the way the amendment is written. There is no such thing as an independent director of public prosecutions.
So, Professor, based on that, it's inconsistent with the Constitution, so there really was none.
Well, basically, correct? It's the same.
Okay.
Just they created a comfortable position, but it didn't have to come to the people to get it ratified.
As it relates to entrenched laws, then, had we had any amendments? None whatsoever.
Only that one.
Okay.
But there hasn't been any others. No. Where the people have to be involved? No.
That's fine. We're going to deal with citizenship.
Well, all of them got to be.
So what I'm about to say would be called prima facie evidence, based on the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. It would be prima facie evidence. Ms. Malcolm, and your audience, since the Constitution of 1973, there were 8 articles that you can become a citizen of the Bahamas under. Article 3, Article 4, Article 5, and for time's sake, I suggest that the audience just look it up because we don't have much time.
You're talking about the Nationality Act, or you're talking about the Constitution?
The Nationality Act is garbage. There ain't no law.
Okay.
And I'm going to prove it right now.
Go ahead.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Article 3, Article 4, that deals with naturalization, and Article 5 that deals with status citizenship through status has been expired. The last person to get citizenship in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas through any kind of status was Darcy Ryan. That has since been expired since July 10th, 1974. So no one can receive citizenship in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas through permanent residency. That's garbage what Hubert Ingram did. And if we had known this then, we would have challenged it. Secondly, Article 4 relates to naturalization. Well, we went through this many times, but that has expired. We do not have a naturalization law. Article 6 speaks to neither parent being a Bahamian. Either parent being a Bahamian. So that's the one that the Privy Council dealt with.
Right.
The mother or the father, you can become a Bahamian. Article 7 speaks to neither parents being a Bahamian, but there's a prerequisite for that. Yes. And that only happens through registration. The first prerequisite is that you have to be born in the Bahamas. The second is you have to apply after attaining the age of 18, but before your 19th birthday. And the third prerequisite is that you have to be able to renounce your citizenship from your country of origin. Yeah. That's the Constitution. Article 8 refers to a Bahamian man who has a child outside of this country. That child becomes a Bahamian. Article 9 speaks to a Bahamian woman in a legitimate marriage that has a child outside of the country. The child can become a Bahamian at the age of 18, but before their 21st birthday, all right, but their Bahamian citizenship is deferred. They cannot receive citizenship, like the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Fred Mitchell, said, use Article 6 of the Bahamas Nationality Act for minor. That's inconsistent with the Constitution. It cannot happen. This is suggesting that the Foreign Affairs Minister is making to the Attorney General. Article 10, the last one, speaks to a foreign woman who marries a Bahamian man. She doesn't have to renounce, all right? But there's a marital status that she has, spousal, and then permanent residency, and then she can get citizenship. Okay? Now, Article 13, and you said something very particular last week, Michelle, I want to get to 54. But Article 13 told the government that if you want to make a provision for any new citizenship, you can do so, right? But it has a provision in Article 54. This is what Michelle was dealing with last week. So let's look at Article 54 and see what Article 54 says. It says, it will be 52, right? It's found in Chapter 7 of the Constitution. Subject to the provision of the Constitution, when Parliament may make laws for the peace, order, and good governance of the Bahamas. Parliament has powers, but there is a procedure with the power. This is what Article 13 is talking about. They can make this provision, but there's a procedure they must follow. Now, what's the procedure? Let's look at Article 54. Article 2 of 52. Subject to the provision of this article, all right, subject to the provision of the article, Parliament may, by an act of Parliament, this is Article 54, passed by both houses, alter. That's an important word, Michelle, and your audience and Professor. Any of the provisions of this Constitution, insofar as it forms part of the law of the Bahamas, and any of the provisions of the Bahamas Independence Act of 1973. All right? Article 54.3 says, insofar as it alters, here are the entrenched laws as it relates to citizenship. Article 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So it simply means that Article 9 that the Prime Minister wants to alter, he cannot alter it without a referendum. And it went on to say, a bill for an act of Parliament under this article shall not, Michelle, be passed by Parliament unless, let me repeat that, it shall not be passed by Parliament unless, at the final voting thereon in each house, it is supported by the votes of not less than 3/4 of all the members of each house, and the bill, after the passage through both houses, have been submitted to the electors, that's referendum, qualified to vote for the election of members of the House of Assembly, and on a vote taken in such manner as Parliament may prescribe, the majority of the electors voting have approved the bill.
Right.
What I'm saying to you, the Bahamas Nationality Act is still a bill because it never went to a referendum. That's not a law. Okay? You want further help? Let's go to Article 63. 1. A bill shall not become law, that's the Constitution now, until the Governor General has ascended thereto in a Majesty's name and on a Majesty's behalf, and has signed it in token of such assent. Look at 63.3, Michelle. Any bill to which Articles 54.2 or 3, that's what we just read, of the Constitution applies, shall be presented to the Governor General. What's the prerequisites? Endorsed with certificates of the President of the Senate and the Speaker that it has been passed by the requisite majorities in accordance with whichever of those paragraphs apply to the bill, and with a certificate of the parliamentary registrar that it has been approved by the majority of electors voting of the bill. I have one question. Let the government of the Bahamas show me the certified certificate that has been ratified by the parliamentary registrar for the Bahamas Nationality Act. If they cannot produce that certificate, that is not a law. It will simply mean that it is unconstitutional. An unconstitutional act is not a law. Why, Michelle? It confers no rights. It imposes no duties. It creates no office, and it affords no protection. In legal contemplation, it is as if it never was passed. They joking. Michelle? Professor?
Yeah, be here. Yeah, you're correct.
The government of the Bahamas can produce 3 certificates, one from the President of the Senate, the other from the House of Assembly, the Speaker, that they accomplished 3/4 of the votes in both houses, and then from the parliamentary registrar, a certificate to prove that the voters vote, and we want to know the majority of the voters vote. So it's a proof. It's a receipt. It's a proof of purchase. If they can't produce those receipts certified, especially from the parliamentary registrar, that simply means that it never went to a referendum. So it means that the Bahamas Nationality Act is not a law. Now, the articles in the Bahamas Nationality Act that they're using, Article 9, to naturalize these people is invalid. Because it's not a law. That's a simple court matter. You argue that, you went straight to the Privy Council. Parliament does not have the right to interfere. Right?
Yes.
With
entrenched provisions.
Yes. Entrenched laws in the absence of a referendum.
That's correct.
They have to go to a referendum. All these people doing is taking these people $1,000 and fooling them. Michelle, it's not a law based on the law. Article 9, which deals with naturalization, is not a law. Article 5, which deals with registration, is not a law because Article 9 alters Article 4 of the Constitution, which has already expired. Yes. Article 5 of the Bahamas Nationality Act alters Article 7 of the Constitution, which already expired. Article 4, which speaks to adoption in the Nationality Act, alters all of the laws because you cannot receive citizenship as a minor. There is no law in the Constitution to grant that to you. I mean, what we doing in this country? All right, now that's my legal argument. any QC, any king or queen's consul, any member of the government, I challenge them on live radio. Debate me on that. All right? If you as man or woman, you come forward and let's have an audience with the Bahamian public and let me and you go toe to toe. I got more, but that's all the Bahamian people need. All right? Bring the certificate certified by the parliamentary registrar with Article 63 asks for in the Constitution that a referendum was held in 1973, right, to ratify the Bahamas Nationality Act. If you cannot produce that certificate, it's not a law. Thank you, Michelle.
All right. That's a mouthful right there. Thank you very much. I want to encourage everybody listening or watching the show. The Constitution of the Bahamas is easily accessible to everyone who wants to know more about it. And I would like to recommend that you all go online, Google Constitution of the Bahamas, and voila, it will come right up for you. All you have to do is download that document to your laptop or your phone. I actually have it on my phone. And that way, even if you don't understand the language they're in, you can follow along with that Constitution in hand as we do these Masterclass Monday shows.
Yes.
Because one of the reasons why we started doing this is because we realize how complicated the language can be. And so the whole purpose behind trying to break this down is to help you to better understand the lingo of the Constitution as written. So I want to thank my last caller for helping us to break it down. You know, I always like to say, keep it so simple that a 6-year-old can understand, even though our government, governments or administrations don't seem to have anybody who has the understanding of a 6-year-old when it comes to our Constitution, because this has been going on, as Professor always points out, for decades.
Yes.
Why? Because they know that most people in this country, or many people in this country, aren't going to, 1, take the time to search it out, 2, download it, and 3, study it, and 4, try to understand it. That's too much to ask for some people around here. That's too much to ask. You want me to do what? So this is why we need to be making this information available to the masses. And this is why we are here every Monday, God Spare Life, to bring you this knowledge. Because we can't expect to change anything if we're not willing to do what is necessary to make the changes. We could talk from now till kingdom come. And if we're not willing to get in there and act on the talking, then this is just an exercise in futility. We have to take a break. When we come back, we're going to continue our Masterclass Monday on the Constitution. We'll be back after this. Stay with us.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But it's often hard to get these nutrients from food alone. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Longevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients to give your immune system extra support. Vitamin D helps balance the effects of zinc, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Longevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting sugar-free berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, tints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
It's gotten harder and harder to get your daily requirement of vital nutrients from food alone. Without additional vitamin and nutrient support, your health and well-being can suffer drastically. That's why Z-Radical was specifically formulated. It combines a blend of antioxidant-rich vitamins, minerals, and botanicals with the protective powers of fucoidan to help fill the gaps from lack of nutrients in your foods. The core of Z-Radical is fucoidan, a naturally occurring polysaccharide that helps stimulate immune reaction, protecting you against inflammation and oxidative stress. We harvest this powerful mineral-rich nutrient from brown seaweed, harvested only from the world's most pristine ocean waters to ensure the purest quality. It's then extracted using cold process technology to ensure maximum levels of bioavailability. Then we add essential vitamins that help to protect your cardiovascular and nervous systems and are crucial for optimal immune and neurological function. Z-Radical also includes a proprietary blend of delicious antioxidant-rich fruits and berries. This great-tasting combination helps your body combat free radical imbalances that can contribute to a variety of degenerative conditions like arthritis and heart disease. Z-Radical. Experience the power of fucoidan with antioxidant-rich berries, 8 essential vitamins, and more to provide you with potent health benefits. To learn more, contact your longevity associate.
And we are back on this Masterclass Monday as we continue our journey through the Constitution of the Bahamas. Michelle Malcolm in your company, along with Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson. Here's how you can become a part of the show. We are streaming live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm and Global 99.5 FM pages. Also streaming live on rumble.com. That's rumble.com. And look for Global Paradigm Shift, all one word, no space in between, to find us there. You can also catch us on Cable Bahamas Channel 974 and on Global 99.5 FM smart device app, which you can download and carry us with you 24/7. Okay, you can also call in. The numbers to call 3260271, 3260271, 3260272. 3260272. The WhatsApp line for messages and calls is 801-0271. That's 801-0271. As you can hear in the background, I'm coming to you from home today. And I don't know why this ice cream truck driving through here at 304. Because the children around, they don't get out of school at 3 o'clock. So they ain't going to be home at 304. So why this ice cream truck driving through my car this time of day? But anyway, yeah, so we're with Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson, and we're looking at the Constitution of the Bahamas and making comparisons to the what you call it? Well, we sort of got off track with the Nationality Act, yeah. All right, so let me read a couple of comments from some of our Facebook viewers. Let's see. How far back can I go? Because we have quite a bit of comments here. Okay. Someone is asking the question, should the Constitution be taught in our schools? I think we said that multiple times on this show that it should be.
Yes.
Marvin Bain says, I blame our people for years of not studying our Constitution, made a slew of ignorance within the public, making them accessible to the corrupt leaders for a puppet ship because of the lack of knowing this nation has failed, sad, Bahamas, read.
Could I just comment on that, please?
Sure.
Yeah, because see, here's how I look at it. And I can understand how the text is thinking, and you have to take this from a positive approach. I had to wait 50 years for the Bahamian people to wake up, and they didn't wake up until Her Majesty the Queen had passed, and then Prince Charles ascended the throne. Then people began to wonder, well, what is our relationship with the monarchy in London? We do have a relationship with them because it's spelled out in the Constitution. However, I do not blame the Bahamian people for not knowing it for the last 50 years. That's water under the bridge now. What we have to do is look at where we are today and work to bring change. We have to help people to understand the document by putting it in simple, basic, fundamental language. I have my team now looking into some other things that we are about to do in relation to this matter, because this Constitution is so important for the survival of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Now, why the government didn't put it into schools, I guess you'll have to ask them. They'll have to answer that one. But I know it just hasn't been there from its inception. However, we cannot wait on that. We are more than 50 years behind schedule when it comes to knowing our Constitution. Now, that is a serious deficit. It's going to take a lot of hard work, commitment, dedication to deal with that. And I'm committed to that. But the Bahamian people have to be committed for change. But it must be done constitutionally. If it is done constitutionally, it will benefit the Bahamian people. And I will tell them right now, there are so many things in that document that we can utilize to bring change to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. In fact, the Founding Fathers set it up so beautifully. For our benefit, they were forward-thinking personalities back then. Do we have any of them around today? Just look at the trouble that we are confronted with. We need forward-thinking people to take the country forward into the future. Let's not blame past administration that didn't do it. Fine. We don't know that. Now, what are we going to do from today? I think it's the day the 6th, November the 6th, and going forward. See, don't even worry about yesterday. Today being the 6th, going forward, what are we prepared to do? And I always tell people, if you don't know how to organize yourself, you call me. I'll be happy to come and assist you and help you. But don't be afraid to ask if you don't know. There was a time I didn't know either. And there's still some things I do not know. I have to keep studying. I have to keep working along with my associates to be able to better serve the Bahamian people. Learning is something that is continuous. It never stops. But you have to have your mind open to change. And a lot of us sometimes get closed-minded. We get upset because people didn't do this or didn't do that, or they did this or they did that. No. We have to look at it objectively and say, what is it that I can do to bring change for the betterment of the country? That is what's important.
Okay. Let us continue now. Do you want Professor to go back to that Nationality Act? Because it's been quite a while since we've been there.
It is. It has been, yes.
we've been, so much has been happening, left, right, and center, that it's sort of thrown us off track. Actually, we have a WhatsApp call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
What up, Michelle?
How you doing?
Everything good. What up, Professor?
Hey, how are you? Good afternoon.
Everything good.
Okay.
Michelle, I want the professor to answer me this. The lady who was on Eyewitness News, right? Who claimed she was a Bahamian.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What was her pathway to become a Bahamian?
What was her
pathway?
She don't have any.
Exactly. Now, I'm saying she on national news, right? And this will get me confused. The national, what you call that, regularized people, and you all say that does not exist no more, right?
Bahamas
No, it exists. It's just that, like Professor says, when you put that next to the Constitution is the supreme law, meaning that if there's anything in the Nationality Act that contradicts what's in the Constitution, it's the Constitution that is above the Nationality Act, right?
That's correct. That's correct.
Right. So I'm asking if that's null and void.
If that's what?
If it's non and void, like.
Yes, it is null and void.
If there is a clause, hold on. If there's a clause in the Nationality Act that contradicts the supreme law of the land, which is the Constitution, then Professor Thompson is saying that the Constitution as the supreme law prevails. That is not to say that the Nationality Act is null and void, because there's some things in the Nationality Act that do not contradict what is in the Constitution.
All right. Okay. Now let me make it plain then, because this where to me getting confusion.
Okay.
She cannot become a Bahamian citizen based on our Constitution, right?
Correct. From all of the information that we have. Now, I don't know if there's some pathway that she has that we're not aware of. But from all of the information that we have, it doesn't appear so.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I'm asking, based on our Constitution, she has no pathway to become a Bahamian.
That is correct.
But yet, she is a Bahamian.
Yes. So-called.
You understand what these people doing to us?
Yeah, I do.
And then to me, I don't think even the host who's asking her the question understand the Constitution. Because even when I was listening to her, she have no pathway to become a Bahamian. But she have 7 kids.
And one on
that
the way.
This state can recognize as Bahamian.
Who said they're Bahamian?
You understand what I'm saying?
Who said they're Bahamian?
But that's what I'm saying. If you look at it now, she calling herself a Bahamian.
She got
and her mommy and her daddy wasn't no Bahamian.
And my understanding is it was a mother who applied for her to be Bahamian.
Yeah, but that was 2015.
Yes, that's what she said.
And she can't renounce.
Well, we know that too. So you see there's a lot of confusion right there.
Right, so Bahamians, let me show you the power. Let me show you the power we got. All of this time, you couldn't get Brave Davis. You couldn't contact him. You couldn't get him to move. You couldn't get him to do nothing. Without us even asking him to come to Freeport and whatnot, he here, knocking on doors, and all of these other rest of stuff. I just want to show you all we got power until we don't have it. You get what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
Now I said, I don't think, Professor, what you saying and how you teaching us, whatever you teaching us about the Constitution.
Yes.
To me, I feel that don't matter to the people who it's supposed to be mattering to.
I want you to stop there a moment because I want to make a comment right in there. I'm glad that you put it that way. When I'm on the radio, I want to speak to the masses, the Bahamian people, because you see, the thing is, the Bahamian people need to understand the predicament they're in. Do not expect the snake not to bite you, okay? Do not expect the rat not to steal the cheese. That's just the way they behave. I am saying that once we can get the people, Article 24.1 of your Constitution, to get their eyes open to see where the real power is, we don't have to worry about them fellas who have been elected because they could easily be removed. The issue
I
is...
feeling you, Professor.
Listen to me carefully.
But I can't agree with you.
No, but that's fine. You may not understand some things that I do. That's why I'm trying to simplify it constitutionally. Because a lot of us are not constitutionally sound. That's why the government of the Bahamas has been able to get away with a lot of crap over the last 50 years. Because the Bahamian people...
Because I looking at
the Bahamian
every problem what the Bahamian people dealing with, it is not really Bahamians. But when you hear them say, like to me, the shanty town, they keep saying, oh, Bahamians in there. Who cares?
It doesn't matter.
Follow the law. You know what I mean?
Follow the law, yes. That's correct.
You calling Bahamians, but they ain't really Bahamians.
But
these not so-called naturalized people. And let me show you how they doing us dirty. When a place burned down, you see how quick the Bahamian taxpayers' money being out there? The fire trucks, the policemen, all of that, they don't have to pay for none of that. All of it because they don't want to follow your law.
Okay.
They don't want to follow your law, and they expect us to. I still shocked of how that woman been on beyond the headlines and what she say. You don't believe that, eh? I still breaking that down, and she's not a Bahamian. Where the immigration's at? Who's watched that show? Because if they know the Constitution, they should have been there with her, questioning her. The Bahamian people, this empathy thing, them be the dead of us. Because we using empathy and Jesus to put our hands on wrong. There's no pastor, and you ever see pastor from Haiti ever stand on anything for Bahamians? But when it comes to that Haitian community,
but she has a Bahamian passport.
Always speaking out on them things.
She has a Bahamian passport. Now, we don't know how she get it, but she got one. And so as long as she has a Bahamian passport, she until it's proven otherwise, she has to be considered a Bahamian citizen as long as she holding a passport. Now, I'm not saying
but I reject that.
Well, it is what it is. I'm not saying it's right, and I'm not disagreeing that we need to look into all of these naturalizations to see the legality of them. That's a huge task. That's a mammoth task. But until such time,
let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
You don't think the passport office and the people them who work to who's be given in citizenship should be investigated?
There is
they should be investigated, man.
Yeah, I don't think an investigation would hurt. It's an alleged some kind of operation going on where many passports are being, I don't want to say sold, but somehow getting the hands of people who don't deserve to have them or who are not entitled to have them. So somebody got to be made accountable for that. And if that means then some kind of investigation, my only challenge is the investigation has to be done by some external entity that is not tied to any particular agency, because you can't police yourself. So I don't expect anybody to, I mean, to me, it doesn't make sense for you to come to me and say, we're going to investigate from within. No, we need an independent body to investigate what is happening in the passport office and the immigration department, all of it, in order to get to the bottom of this. People who don't have any horse in the race, who really could care one way or the other how the chips fall, they're only here to do a job. That is what, in my humble opinion, we need. But once we were to do that, you talking about, and I'm not saying that it makes a difference, but you talking about opening a can of worms, my God, that'll be a serious Pandora's box that we would be opening. It's necessary, but there are so many repercussions as a result. And I think this is why administration after administration has been ignoring or turning their blind eye to this problem, because it's such a big problem that they may feel paralyzed, not knowing how to deal with it. The problem, though, is that they, when I say they, I'm talking over the years, successive administrations have compounded the problem by pandering to these people, promising them, oh, I can get you citizenship, or, you know, if I get your vote, we can make you. And so then we have this huge block of persons who, according to at least what's on the surface, have the eligibility to vote. They have a Bahamian passport. You can't tell them now that they can't vote. So on the one hand, you have these politicians that I believe know what to do, but feel paralyzed and hopeless because it's such a big job that will, and so many, repercussions. But on the other hand, many of them are contributing to the problem by, being a part of this whole allegedly ring of issuing out our passports. It's just absolute madness. So, how do we solve this problem? It's going to take the will of the people to demand that our governments, our agencies, our ministries, etc., do the right thing. We as a people need to stop ourselves being compromised to the degree where you know somebody or you work within a particular agency and you either turning a blind eye or participating in the alleged activities that seem to be happening. Why we see this proliferation of people who are being given citizenship and who really, quite frankly, according to our Constitution, don't have a pathway to get it.
That's correct.
But Professor, until somebody decides, and you say that you and a group are working on that now, to try to address this from a legal perspective.
Yes, that's just one way now. There's some others too. Because see, you have to take all the constitutionally sound options that are in there against any wrongdoing by anyone in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. In this case, it's the government of the Bahamas or any other entity for that matter. And it's going to be a big fight, but it can be won. We have to be determined as a people to stop participating in corruption, as you yourself said. And we have to stand up for what is right. Now, that doesn't mean people are going to like you, particularly if they're in the clique. They're going to get upset because they think you're interfering with something that they've been holding on to for so long. So what?
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing that says you're not going to find confrontation if you do what is right. See, Jesus said you suffer for righteousness' sake. I prefer to suffer for righteousness' sake than to suffer for doing things that are wrong. I got no problem with that. But you have to be prepared for that. Yes, ma'am.
We have a question from one of our Facebook viewers. Says, persons receiving a Bahamian citizenship through naturalization, are they now able to vote in our elections?
That's a good question that you ask. And you know, it's one of those things. We will just, I'll put it this way. Let me answer it this way. We will have to see what happens. Because some people who believe they will be able to participate in that election may never, ever get the chance to do so. See, God has mysterious ways to deal with issues that are sometimes beyond our control. So we got to trust him, rely on him, depend on him. We do what we ought to do. We do our work. We have to take action. That is important for us to do. And then we trust God to do the rest. So those people who have these things, who believe they're going to do something else might be coming their way.
All right. We will be watching with bated breath to see what that something is.
Yes.
Okay. We have to take a break. On the other side of the break, we will continue our conversation about the Constitution of the Bahamas with Professor Sidney MacArthur, Walter Thompson. Stay with us. This is GPS.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
At Lee Air, safety is our #1 priority. Flying since 1996, we offer scheduled flights into Fresh Creek and Mangrove Key Andros and Great Harbor Key, Berry Island, twice daily, 7 days a week. Affordable charter services are also available to anywhere in the Bahamas and the Caribbean. Lee Air Charter Services. Call 225-3267, 702-7127, or 322-1317 for reservations.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 Hyperimmune Egg Powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
For all your building needs, it's Carib Construction and Project Management on Gladstone Road. We build it all. Schools, homes, hotels, and more, including structures requiring a Phase 3 electrical contractor. We also provide project management services. The first step towards your dream building begins at Carib Construction and Project Management. Call us at 376-1556 or 341-4466.
One of the things I love about the mailboat is their relationship with Bahamas Air. I can earn travel points on my international freight and redeem them when I fly.
For me, online shopping is easy, with Mailboat's U.S. addresses and regular freight delivery to Nassau. Plus, I can always prepay customs and freight, and they always notify me when my package arrives.
Yeah, a lot of people think the Mailboat is just for shipping, but they also offer a safe and secure storage facility at affordable rates, all in a central, convenient location.
We also offer passenger service into Freeport multiple times per week with a seating capacity of over 450 persons. With family movies on large screens, one hot meal included, and on-board lounge for snacks and soft drinks. We're the Mailboat. We're bridging people, products, and places.
Executive Printers is your one-stop shop for all your branding and customization needs. Letterheads, envelopes, business cards, invoices, share and gift certificates, rubber stamps, vouchers, funeral programs, brochures, flyers, banners, and promotional items like mugs, water bottles, mouse pads, and key rings, all with personable service and great quality. No project is too small or too large. For great turnaround and competitive pricing, make an executive decision. Call us at 393-5011.
And we are back. Welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm here, along with Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson, on this master class Monday on the Constitution of the Bahamas. We're streaming live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm and Global 99.5 FM pages. You can also check us out on rumble.com. That's rumble.com. Look for Global Paradigm Shift, all one word, no spaces, and check us out there. Or you can watch us on Cable Bahamas Channel 974 or download the Global 99.5 FM app to your smart device and check us out there. The numbers to call are 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. The WhatsApp line for messages and calls is 801-0271. That's 801-0271. We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Yes, good afternoon.
Hi.
Yeah, okay. To you and your guests and the nation, listening to the show, you know, a lot of noise distracting in my background. But I have three questions, and probably you need to take note of it. Who constitutionally owns the Bahamas? That's one. And then you say about an independent body of from a particular nation. Who will be that independent body from a particular nation? Because based on all the nations, to my understanding, around the entire world, we have a lot of people other than one particular nationality in the Bahamas claiming citizenship. Not only, I can put it like this, not only Jamaicans, Haitians, Chinese, Americans, just about every nation is in the Bahamas claiming citizenship. So where's this independent body going to come from? Who's going to do an investigation?
Well, let me answer that question before you go on to the third question. I don't know how old you are, but I do recall as a reporter covering commissions of inquiry. And what would happen is that they would bring in a particular judge, I don't know if judge is the right word, but someone from outside the country to sit over and, see through the progress of that commission of inquiry, because of the same thing, that there is no conflict of interest. So I didn't say that we would have to have the person from a country where there's absolutely nobody in the Bahamas from their country. I never said that. But just in the same way that with the commission of inquiry, we bring in people from the outside to sit in the seat of decision making. I'm just suggesting that we need to perhaps do the same thing here.
Okay.
Now, what's the third question?
So, when talk about a solution, it means that everybody got to be humble enough to be fortified and be courageous enough to independently agree and say that, hey, I'm in a position that I am not what I use the word politically correct, and I'm in a position that needs to be fortified, and whatever actions based on these commissions, whatever they're going to implement, I'll have to agree with whatever the circumstance would be, or like the Constitution will say, to announce my citizenship from wherever I come from, based on whatever that committee or commission has implemented. And that's the only solution I could say based on, everybody 45, he ain't looking for no what you call it, because we then all, I call it fish fry, jack up, mess up. History could indicate from way back, from the 60s. And, I born in the 60s. So I can say from way back, even in the schools, you had teachers and you had people come around. And I go into food stores today and I see all kinds of people, different color, different congregation, all kinds of, not only those who are particular people, but I see them all. So, but like constitutionally speaking, if anybody under the sound of my voice, if you're in the right position, you got to have the fortification to agree with that you are in a position that you ought not to be in, and be willing to have it corrected. That's all I can say. And agree with the circumstances, because you took the chance to come in. You didn't come in the right way. Like when you buy a plane or bought a plane, go to get a national visa or some certificate to verify that you're not whatever in French with the law, and you can be able to travel. You're not traveling no particular type of disease or ailment or sickness to bring it over, and so on and so on. You're straight to go. Yeah. So, Walter McCarter Thompson.
Yes, sir. I'll answer the first question. No. You asked the first question. That hasn't been answered.
Huh?
What was your first question?
The first question was that who constitutionally owns the Bahamas?
Bahamian people.
Huh?
Bahamian people.
So the Bahamian people. Okay, so the Bahamian people was here first.
You asked a question. Who constitutionally owns the Bahamas?
Bahamas, yeah.
The Bahamas started July the 10th, 1973.
Okay.
The Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
All
the
right.
Bahamian people. This family of island rocks and keys belong to the people of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Lock, stock, and barrel. Now, you'll hear some people say some other things, but I'm not checking for them. We got to go get our things.
Okay, so we got to go get our things.
Of course we have to, because it's we got some funny things went on in this place for more than half a century.
So
are we going to keep sitting here?
This is very good. What is our solution so that we can call it a resolution? What will be the solution? Just like how if you're dating, you catch a bat.
Yeah.
If you need some money, you go to work. If you need to put gas in your car, you go to the gas station.
But you got to have the money.
Yeah.
That's a good point you raised.
So
see,
what is the solution? What is the solution?
The solution is for the people of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas to follow the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. That's your sacred document. That's all you have.
So we need forms around the place, or like how we have constituencies. We need forms around the place, some sort of legislation where people can come and register to determine what the way forward, and so on and so on.
What has to
I don't see why they have to register to do that. I mean, what
no, they don't have to. But
Yeah.
see, I think I understand what he's trying to say. Let me. You see why I always go to Article 24.1. 24.1 gives the Bahamian people the power and authority to protect what is theirs. Now, unfortunately, over the last 50 plus years, we haven't done a good job of protecting what is ours. Now, that's where you need conversation. See, I always tell them, you ain't sure how to organize on the ground in your community where you live. See, I always draw the analogy, BTC and St. Barnabas Church.
Yeah, we know. We don't want to go back
so
there.
What I'm saying is people need to understand. People need to understand how this goes.
Right.
So that's important.
I understand. Okay.
So,
all right, caller, you got your questions answered?
Yeah, I got them answered. Thanks, appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much.
All right.
All right, sir.
Thank you for calling. Okay. One of the things I had started to say earlier in the show is that
yes, ma'am,
a lack of knowing is not an excuse in this day and age when you could easily just go online, download the document, even if you just have that in front of you as we're going through this show, so you get to understand it bit by bit by bit by bit.
Yes. That's how you have
But
to
I
do it.
think I think a big part of the problem is that you got too many people out there who are either distracted or just don't seem to understand the power that they have through this Constitution, and so
I agree
therefore,
with that.
you know,
Michelle,
you
hit the nail right on the head. They don't understand how powerful this document is.
Mm-hmm.
They don't understand that the Constitution is more powerful than the government of the Bahamas, because the government of the Bahamas derives its lawfully constituted authority from the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Mm-hmm.
So we just have to communicate with one another, come to know the document better, help your elected officials and appointed officials to say, no, that is wrong that you're doing. Here is what you should be doing constitutionally. We have not been doing that with our representatives and our officials that we elect and give them this power and authority to run our national affairs. We just give it over to them and let them do and act as they please, like spoiled children. You don't do that.
We have a call on the line, Professor. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Well, good afternoon, Michelle Malcolm.
Hello.
And good afternoon to Professor Walter Mercado.
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon.
Miss Malcolm, I'm so happy to see you remind me of Stella, you got your groove back.
Oh my goodness, I never lost it. You just didn't know.
Well, no, I did not know. But the way you handled that situation on Friday with that lady and the 7 children, and you did not let down with the ministers of with the minister of gospel who was supporting her, it is paramount to the sense that you are not being compromised and you speaking truth to form. So therefore, I must thank you for that and continue the good work. I would also like to ask Professor Walter, where in our Constitution do we have the right or the government have the right to send our soldiers to another country to fight their citizens? Is there anything in our Constitution, Professor?
That is an excellent question that you asked, and I'll answer it this way. You must understand that there are some things that are not specifically mentioned in the Constitution. Some things are left wide open. Let me give you a simple example, like the powers of the office of Prime Minister. He does, or she, whoever it may be. The powers are so wide open that the only persons who can keep tabs on the Prime Minister's office are those elected in the House of Assembly. And there are some things the Constitution doesn't specifically speak to, but I understand this is a very serious national issue. And there should be a conversation with the Bahamian people, because we're going into new territory now where we've never been before. And it is not proper for the government of the Bahamas to just act arbitrarily contrary and not consult with the Bahamian people. The Constitution doesn't specifically say that he must, but what I'm saying is that a matter like that is very, very serious, and it's taking the country in a different direction. And so we have to be very careful with that.
Well, Professor, I would also like to add to that. I do believe the government of the Bahamas have the responsibility to post and to see the unit that was sent down there and who the names of those soldiers are.
Yes.
So that we are able to say And they are responsible because they're, as you said, acting arbitrarily. They want the fixes. Even when a judge in Kenya, I think it was,
yes,
turned down the government because they wanted to send troops into Haiti.
Right,
And
because the opposition in that country took action.
yeah, and
The opposition has taken no action.
And our Minister of Foreign Affairs, but he kind of struggled back on that thing, on that particular situation.
Okay.
And the thing is, what really bothers me, Professor, we have thousands and thousands and thousands of Haitians here. Why aren't they being trained and sent to fight for their own countrymen?
They can do that right over there.
Well, let me just say this. Let me just say this. You got to be very careful what you ask for, because if you're talking about, hold on, if you're talking about training a set of people who may not necessarily have allegiance to you, you training them to overtake you, even though you could say you training them to send them back to Haiti. But what's to stop them from using that same training to overthrow you?
Okay,
you got to be careful what you ask for.
No, Ms. Malcolm, you're correct. But what happens now is they have trained, we have trained them. They're all through our military and everywhere else, which means these coming 5 years, we must purge our defense force and every unit, every aspect of our government. It has to be pushed because these people are everywhere, and that should not be. It's going to take some time, but we do. And the last thing I wanted to say, we trusted our politicians in 1973. We were not paying attention to the Constitution. We wanted to go and build a new country, a new Bahamas, so we went to work. We worked 3 jobs a night, a day. And there were many, many jobs that we went on and we worked. So this old adage with the humans don't want to work is foolishness, absolute foolishness. And one final thing I would like to say, and I want you all to think about it, and that is the lady that is running for the PLP at their convention to be the leader. She's Ms. Lyons. She is a Haitian.
She's not running to be the leader, sir. Hold on. First and foremost, she's not running to be the leader. She's running to be the chairman of that party. Let's get it right now.
I'm talking, but sorry, Ms. Markle, I mean the chairman of the party. She will exceed that because Mr. Mitchell is stepping down. He threw his hand up in the air. All right? So, with she in the chair.
Where did you get that information from where did you get, hold on. Where did you get any information about Mr. Mitchell stepping down? Where did you get it from?
Pardon me?
Where did you get information about Mr. Mitchell stepping down as chairman? I haven't seen that. Where did that come from?
Certain things Mr. Mitchell has uttered.
Y'all got to be more responsible in this now. You can't come on the air and just make these kind of statements.
All right, let me take that back.
Please.
Let me take that, Ms. Malcolm. But Ms. Light, she's going to work along with the Prime Minister.
Anyhow, call it. You getting into territory that we don't wish to get into today because we're talking about the Constitution of the Bahamas.
He said, I is you and you is me. What does that mean? Thank you, Mrs. Malcolm.
Thank you for calling. People, please be responsible when you call the show with what you say. Okay? Let's be responsible. You can't just call and make arbitrary statements that aren't based in fact. Okay? Let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to, there'll only be like 6 minutes left in the show at that point. So let's take this break and then we'll see how much we can get in after that.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
Blood sugar levels play a key role in your appetite, weight gain, and overall health. When you have a blood sugar spike, you can feel confused, dizzy, and even have increased cravings. Eating carbohydrates, sugary or fatty foods, and not exercising can all cause blood sugar spikes. But now you have help in managing blood sugar levels. Sweeties by Youngevity was designed to help support healthy blood sugar levels so you can power through your day. It's a synergistic blend of minerals, herbs, and nutrients that have been proven to support healthy blood sugar levels. Sweeties includes chromium, an essential trace mineral that's known for its contribution to healthy blood sugar levels and improved metabolism of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Cinnamon bark has been included for its naturally occurring antioxidants and support of a healthy heart. And we've even added gymnema. It's been used in Ayurveda for centuries to help promote healthy blood sugar. All the ingredients in Sweeties work together to give the best support available for blood sugar control. Sweeties, the blood sugar support supplement from Youngevity that helps control cravings and manage blood sugar levels through your day. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
As you age, factors like health, weight, diet, and lifestyle can all impact your bones, joints, and general mobility. Even everyday exercise can lead to wear and tear on your body. Over time, you might start to experience stiffness or pain due to damaged joints or connective tissue. Ultimate Glucogel by Youngevity was created to help you limit the effects of wear on your joints. It delivers a daily dose of collagen-rich gelatin your body needs for joint elasticity and maintenance. Ultimate Glucogel contains a 1-to-1 ratio of gelatin and glucosamine sulfate, which is a key building block of your bone matrix, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, and connective tissue. Gelatin's unique blend of amino acids not only help with muscle and joint health, but also has been shown to provide additional benefits for the brain, skin, and hair. Ultimate Glucogel. Natural, optimal daily support for joint health. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
We are back. Welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5. We have a caller online on the phone. Caller, welcome to the show.
Hello, Michelle.
Caller, are you there? Hi.
Hello, Michelle.
Yes.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good. I don't like this. You carry so many different parts. I don't like this Michelle here. You're so low key. Is everything okay?
Everything's fine.
That's good. I love the Hulk Michelle. I love the intelligent Michelle. Very intelligent lady. I like the no nonsense Michelle.
So which of them did you not see today apart from the Hulk? I really sorry I show you all the Hulk, because now you're expecting me to come here every day and carry on bad. And that ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen.
I like how you're no nonsense and you say it like it is and you don't pull back. You speak the truth. And
well, I aim to do that on every show. I aim to do that on every show, but I have to be responsible as well. I can't let people come on this show and say things willy-nilly that they have no evidence of or no proof of, and then the next thing you know, this station in problem and I in problem getting sued. I can't allow that to happen. We have to be responsible in what we say on the air. That's the law.
I agree, and you are a responsible lady. You know, I love you as one of the best talk show hosts in this country. You are.
Thank you.
You are. You know, and I don't miss your show. I really don't miss your show because, Michelle, I love you so much, girl, as the talk show host. You don't know. You don't know.
I
You're
appreciate
what
that. Thank you so
Bahamas
much.
need. Okay?
Thank you.
Right. Let me say
We
hello to
try.
Sidney.
We
Sidney, how
try.
you doing?
I'm doing well.
Oh, that's good. Sidney, you and that gentleman need to hook up, man, so y'all can lead us, man. Y'all a constitutional assassin, man. That gentleman who called, I didn't get it. I didn't know his name, who was talking about the Constitution.
When, today?
Yeah, he didn't leave his name. He didn't leave his name.
Well, he can always call back to the show.
Yeah, that guy, you and that guy, man, you all need to hook up, man. You all need to lead us, man. You know?
I hear you.
Yeah, man, Sidney. Because, Sidney, you were bad in this Constitution, man, and that guy, he's the same, man. You all need to lead us.
Are you talking about blackmail? I think you're talking about.
I don't know who he is.
I think it's Sean Gardner. I think I know you're talking about now. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, but caller, I gotta let you go because we're running out of time. All right.
Okay, Michelle. Thank you so much.
Thank you for calling, Professor. Before we go, I know last week Monday. I know you want to clarify something. Last week Monday, one of our Facebook viewers said something about Bahamian men being able to pass on citizenship to their children. And we want to make a note that we did, in fact, find in Article 8 reference to what that particular caller was talking about. So I just wanted to give an opportunity for us to address that before we get out of here. I don't know if you recall when the caller called in.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I did. I said to him, if it's in the Constitution,
right,
well, then I stand by it. You know, I could not remember at that point in time which article, but my good constitutional person called me on the phone and he told me Article 8. That's in Article 8. I didn't get a chance to really read it thoroughly, but I believe what he said. And if it's in Article 8, then we automatically go along with it.
I can quickly read Article 8 and then we're going to move on from this because we are really running out of time. Let me see if I can. I just had it up on my phone. Let me see if I can find it. Give me 1 second. I closed it out. How much time do we have left? 2 minutes left.
That's plenty of time.
I'm trying to find it. I just had it open on my phone.
Yes, ma'am.
And now I can't find it. Wow. Oh, I'll be going to deal with this next time because I inadvertently closed my my phone, and now I don't have it immediately available, and we only have less than a minute. So,
well, see, the Constitution was designed where the woman would always follow her husband. Whereas the other way around, if she marries that stranger, she has to follow him. But the Bahamian male, I hadn't thought of it at the time when the caller, when the text was sent in the text. And I said to him, if it's in the Constitution, then fine. I didn't tell him it wasn't there. I said, if it is there, then we just go along with it. You know, but I understand it's in Article 8. I hadn't read it, but my good friend told me, and I have every reason to believe that he's telling the truth because we work together constitutionally. So he said it's Article 8. I'll just have to double check, quadruple check. Yeah.
Yeah,
but,
I had it open on my phone. Okay. Found it. Okay. Real quick, because we're running out of time.
Yeah.
Article 8 says, let's see, let's read this. A person born outside the Bahamas after 9th July 1973 shall become a citizen of the Bahamas at the date of his birth, if at that date his father is a citizen of the Bahamas, otherwise than by virtue of this article or Article 3.2 of this Constitution. Now it's 4 o'clock, so I can't get us to break that down. So next week, God willing, if we are both alive and all, yes, we'll break it down. All right, until such time, thank you, Professor, once again for being part of GPS. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And thank you to all of you who have tuned in or were tuned in at any point today. I really appreciate you guys. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking immigration. Y'all see the Shantytown at 5A with Branville McCartney, God willing. Boy, I tell you, can't make this stuff up. Tomorrow, my guest is Branville McCartney. There may be one or two others in addition to the two of us, but Branville has confirmed, so don't miss tomorrow's show. Until then, I'm Michelle Malcolm saying thank you so much for tuning in, everybody, and have a good afternoon.
Global 99.5 FM reminds our listeners that the views and opinions expressed